but who do you think is the leading candidate today? And it could change tomorrow.
I think it will change. I'm not saying he's going to pick this guy.
Well, you've given it away.
But right,
you said guy.
Right now, I think the leading candidate is Jim Webb.
Yeah, that's. I'm in a vice presidential pool. And that was my first choice. So obviously, I hope it's Jim Webb. It's $150 for me.
Oh,
it's Jim Webb.
Oh, okay.
I think the leading candidate is Hillary Clinton. That's really where I wanted to have this conversation.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think he's going to pick her.
Obviously, I don't know. It's certainly a possibility, and
I think what it's going to come down to is Obama's going to say to himself and to the committee, right? They're going to talk to him and say, can we trust her? And what does that mean? Okay, it means, is she a team player? Will she do what is in the best interest of this ticket, of the campaign, and eventually the administration? And I think the answer they're going to come up with is no, she's not a team player. She will do what is in the best interest of Hillary Clinton, first and foremost, and your priority number 8 or so.
Well, I think that, however, that may be true, and I think that's frequently true. It was exactly the decision that John Kennedy had to make with Lyndon Johnson, his sworn political enemy, much greater enemy, by the way, than Hillary Clinton is to Barack Obama. But if she is on the ticket, if she's the vice president, then for at least the duration of the campaign, I think her interests dovetail with his. And even if you can't trust her, the fact is, will she work in her own interest? Her own interest would be getting elected vice president, which means you get elected president. So, but I hear you. The question is whether they can smooth it over. I think for him, the big issue would be, Cenk, is if there is a perception that, and certainly what it appeared to be last night, is they very strategically, she mentions it to the New York congressional delegation, that she mentions to the New York congressional delegation that she'd be interested in joining the ticket, just happens to. Then they mention it to the press. Obviously, that story was intentional. Then she gives a rather defiant non-concession speech. If the perception is that she is holding, as you said, her voters hostage, that she is saying, hey, man, you want my support, you want my help come in the fall, then you got to name me the ticket, then he should unquestionably not do it if that perception is out there, because that would be a significant sign of weakness that I don't think he wants to show early in the campaign.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why she's playing this so badly. I think Michael's wrong on that count, too. If you care only about your own interests, you're still playing it wrong, because you're now making a very public showing that you better pick me, right? Because there's no other reason to hold on. None, right? Unless you're actually crazy, right? So you're forcing his hand, and you're forcing him to say, I'm not going to pick you, because that shows weakness to give in to that.
I agree. It definitely shows weakness. She lost. She comes. He gets to choose. She does not get to choose. Did she decide? We don't live in a country, and there are countries that, by the way, like this, where the runner-up would automatically be the vice president.
Well, we used to
have it, right?
Right.
We used to, we didn't used to live in that country. We used to have that in this country, which we do live in. So I don't know, but I actually, to use your language, I think that would be a tremendous sign of weakness if he picked her under the perception that was what was happening.